bypass grafts don't always have an indefinite longevity, particularly vein grafts, the grafts that are harvested from the leg. These grafts can have a more limited longevity. And although the president's surgery was, less than 5 years ago, it's not uncommon for a bypass graft to have a problem years out after surgery. And this is a consequence of the natural history of, atherosclerotic disease. So it's not surprising that a person who's had bypass surgery, presents with symptoms consistent with angina, and it sounds like the president was very well treated and treated in a very timely fashion.
Okay, Dr. Jonathan Reiner, thank you so much for joining us here in the Situation Room. I want to go to our own Gloria Borger, who has some new information from senior administration officials that you've been speaking with.
I just spoke with one senior administration official who emailed somebody who is actually with President Clinton right now in New York, and that person emailed this person back and said that the president is actually doing very well and that they're very pleased with his progress. Now, I also spoke with a close friend of the president's who said, look, this is someone who is impossible to tell him to slow down. This is a man who was just in Haiti, as you were reporting, who continues to live large, who, yes, has lost some weight, but doesn't always stick with the prescribed diet that you're supposed to stick to when you're a heart patient. So it's clear the president did the right thing. He understood his symptoms and went in, and according to someone who's with him right now, to the White House, he's doing very well. I asked whether the president had in fact spoken with President Clinton yet, and the answer was not yet.
And do we know where Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, his wife, is at this time?
According to Jill Doherty, our foreign affairs correspondent, that Hillary Clinton has a trip planned to the Middle East, but right now we're told she's on her way to New York.
Okay, great. And covering Clinton, we know that he's unstoppable. This is somebody who does not sit still, and clearly whether or not he has gone on runs, whether or not he's corrected his diet, and that he has always been very, very active. We see him out about on the town. Not only in New York, but here in Washington, part of the scene.
Exactly, and we've just gotten some reporting from Jessica Yellen, who is in New York, who spoke with a close Clinton friend who effectively said the same thing that I did, which is, quote, he still works long days and stays up very, very late. He has gone from a frenetic pace to what most people would consider a frenetic pace. In other words, he's just never stopped. So he hasn't let his heart condition slow him down any since he had his original procedure done in 2004.
Okay, Gloria, thank you so much for those details. I want to bring in our own David Gergen. Obviously, you spent many, many years with both the Clintons, working with them and also on a personal level. Tell us, you've seen President Bill Clinton quite often, quite frequently. What is your impression about how active he's been, how his health has been, how he's been doing?
Well, Susanna, the most encouraging thing about what we've heard so far today is this does not seem to be life-threatening. And I think both the information we've got plus the circumstantial evidence underscores that, and that's very encouraging. But President Clinton has always led, and all the time I've known him, which goes back now some 20 years, he's led a hectic life. He's led he's sort of like, there ought to be two Bill Clintons in order to keep up the pace that he does. But I think it's been especially relentless in the last few months. He had the Clinton Global Initiative gathering in the fall. That always takes a lot out of him. He throws himself into it. Along came Haiti, and then 2 weeks ago he was in Switzerland speaking to the World Economic Forum. He was a large presence there, talked about the financial instability in the world, other things were happening. Also said, and this was the quote that came out of that speech, this is a good time to be alive. Even so, that's his approach to life. That was 2 weeks ago. A week ago, we just came back from Haiti, and now we've learned, the LA Times is reporting 2 days ago, he was telling people he was not feeling well. So it's understandable. We don't know the circumstances. I'm not a doctor to be sure, but it's understandable given the way he has lived life. He has embraced it so fully, and with the heart problems he's had, it's understandable we are where we are. But thank goodness it does not seem to be threatened with his life.
When was the last time you saw him?
Well, I was supposed to see him in Davos, to be honest with you. I was supposed to spend some time there with him just 2 weeks ago, and then I had to cancel because of the State of the Union speech was that Wednesday night. I have not seen him in a while. I'm trying to remember just when the last time I had a long conversation. It's been a while.
David, thank you. I want to remind our viewers where we are in this story. This is news that was just developing over the last hour or so. Former President Bill Clinton, you see pictures there. That is Columbia Presbyterian Hospital in New York. That is where he was taken earlier today after experiencing chest pains. I want to read to you the statement from Douglas Bann. He's counselor to the president. He gives us a good sense of what is happening and the condition right now of former President Bill Clinton. He says that today President Bill Clinton was admitted to the Columbia campus of New York Presbyterian Hospital after feeling discomfort in his chest. Following a visit to his cardiologist, he underwent a procedure to place 2 stents